Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. My name is Brandon, and today we're going to be talking about making the most of social media. This is actually a three-part series. I did this particular breakout session the other day for a group of pastors, and I just wanted to share some of the information that I shared with them. And so this first session will be basically on the social media platforms and kind of going through some of the things on there and some of the options you have. And then part two will be basically making the graphics and kind of sharing some resources that you can have there and where you can find information, stock photos, and all that kind of stuff. And then part three will be kind of like the live streaming on social media and different things like that. So if you will, please make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. And we have a lot of things, even though it's all things small church, a lot of our content right now is on media, just because that's the most popular thing. But feel free to comment and let us know if there's some particular subjects that you would like for us to cover, and we'll be happy to check those out. So here you go. Here's part one on particular social media platforms. Everything. First off, the most popular one out there is Facebook. This is a no-brainer for everyone. Just kind of letting you know, basically though, this is more popular around the 35-plus-year-olds. And so that doesn't mean that people under 35 do not have a Facebook. Most people have Facebook that's even under 35, but it's not the most popular one. If you're over 35, it's probably your main one. And the pros about it is you get the most guests are going to see your pages first and stuff like that. That's where they search for you. That's where they search for your church, all that kind of stuff. They usually don't go to websites first. They sometimes do Google, but most of the time they'll look up on Facebook to see what your church looks like. So you want to have a really good church page on there so that way you're advertising in a good way. The thing about it is there's multiple avenues in Facebook. You have Facebook page, you have Facebook groups, you also have Facebook stories, and the list just goes and it keeps expanding from different areas. And so, but Facebook page, the pro is that's where most guests check out your stuff. The con is when you post things on there as far as information for your personal church. A lot of times they're not going to see that for a while, for 2 to 3 days. Most of the time they're just whatever algorithms and whatever settings they have, unless they actively search for your page or they're subscribed to your channel or to your page, that's one of the things that they're not really going to see it pop up. If you've looked on social media lately, especially on Facebook, you'll see advertisements more instead of people posting stuff more. So that's one of the things that you have to kind of look at, that a con is most of your church family is not going to see your stuff right away unless they like and have their follow settings set correctly on there. The next part after Facebook page is Facebook group. Now this is something we just started doing at our church recently. I looked at another church and they had we went and visited them. They had a Facebook group and they added us into it after we became visitors one time for their church, and that's where they share more personal information. And the good thing about it is when you share in a group, a lot of times you're going to get notified right away, right when it's posted. And so starting a Facebook group, yes, it's a little bit more work on the IT side or the media side and the IT side, but once you have it set up, that's where I recommend, throwing out more of your church personal information. For instance, about a week or two ago, we were having problems finding enough childcare workers. So I posted on there, hey, if you had a background check and you usually help in other ministries, if you can help us out tonight, please let me know. That's not for the whole world to see. That's not for our guests to see, but they can see it there. We also share a lot of our devotions on there and stuff like that. Why? Because we want people to see it sooner and more now than later. So that's a good thing. So the pros is they're going to see stuff more soon. That's not really sounding good, but pretty much immediately. The cons is if they're not a part of your church family and they're not a part of the group, they're probably not going to see it. So the way we handle it at our church is we do a lot of the Facebook pages stuff is more for advertising our church, general announcements, all that kind of stuff. And if it's more of a personal note, then we will share it in the Facebook group. A lot of times people try to double post. There are a few things that I will double post, but I just recommend probably not doing that because, you don't want people's phones going off 9 times in a row, and you don't want them to get frustrated that they keep getting notified about the same stuff. And so anyways, just wanted to share that. The next one is Instagram. And I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit on this part. Basically, Instagram, most people know about it, is videos that are generally under 1 minute. There's different things that you can look at it on that. There are ways to make videos longer at this time, but it's usually through IGTV. And I'm going to post a link to a blog in the description. I did not post this blog. I don't even know who wrote it technically. The author's in there. But I did look at it the other day and I thought it was pretty good. And so I'm just going to share that link with you in the description. And it shares a little more in depth on the Instagram part. And so feel free to check that out. Now I'm going to talk about stories, which is also Facebook and Instagram. Facebook stories and Instagram stories, they're pretty much, something that's, I think 5 to 10, maybe 15 seconds. And it's just images that you see at the top. And right now that's like one of the more popular things. And so you can share throughout your day what happened. And it could be a picture, it could be a video. You can put a text on there, you can make little graphics on there and make things move and different things like that. So that's more of a popular thing. But you need to just make sure that, you kind of get a grasp of it before you start doing a ton of that. But that is a good way to share things. I haven't looked at it lately. We don't do a ton of that right now. Probably should. We just don't have enough time to do it. But one of the things on there is you can actually do that from your actual church page. It's not as easy, or at least it wasn't as easy for me. But you can actually share it from your church page and do stories and stuff like that on the Facebook side. On the Instagram, I haven't tried it, to be honest with you. But the pros are people are going to see that more normal. That's more popular right now. You also have some creative features on there. Even though you're kind of limited to 10 to 15 seconds, they do have some little things on there that are pretty creative. And so, but as far as normal features you're used to, not as much on there. So that's kind of a con. The next thing is Snapchat. This is more popular among 40-year-olds and younger. So if you're over 40 and you have a Snapchat, I guess you're cool. But it's one of those things that it's fun, it's it's more fun and interacting. Just to let you know, things don't disappear even though it says it disappears. There's always a trace, and so one, you shouldn't be doing things you shouldn't be doing, but just know there's always some kind of trail following you, even though you may not think that it is. The con on this, the pro is fun and it's interacting. The con is it's more ways for you to fall into temptation, and while it is not necessarily a trail for everyone to see, it is traceable and things like that, and so that, because it's less traceable to everyone, a lot of times people tend to fall into traps easier on there, and so I just want to caution you that if you do use Snapchat for your church or even personally, just make sure that you're not going down a rabbit hole that's even somewhat close to the fence of being on the evil side type thing. And so I just want to encourage you, be careful with Snapchat. They have gotten a little bit better about certain things, but you just want to be careful because you don't want to fall into some traps there that the devil's going to throw at you. Not saying that Snapchat's all bad and all that kind of stuff. I use it a very little bit. I have a friend that snaps me every once in a while, and when he sends me stuff, I'm still trying to figure out how to do half of that stuff. But just make sure that you're not setting yourselves up for failure. Now, the most popular thing out there right now at the time of this video is TikTok, and it's been out for a little while now. It's the most popular in 2021 when this is videoed. More people, especially younger, are going to see your content. The con on this is there's a lot of inappropriate content on there. There is a restricted mode on there, and so I would definitely put that in for you personally and for your church page and all that kind of stuff. But here's the problem with that. Just because you have it restricted doesn't mean that other people have it restricted. And if you're promoting, hey, follow us on TikTok, hey, all that kind of stuff, you just have to be careful, because then while they may look at your church content right then, they may slide, if they don't have restricted mode on there, they may slide to the next thing and it be more tempting to them, and they fall into some traps there. And so hopefully they'll get to some more filtering and different things like that. But I just want to encourage you to be careful with some of the newer stuff as far as TikTok and stuff. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying be careful. All right, so that was basically the first part of this 3-part series. This was basically on the social media and kind of explaining some of the different platforms. And so hopefully that information helped you a little bit. If you want to know more about making graphics and different things like that, or some resources that are free that you can find stock photos and different things like that, check out part 2. And then part 3 is going to be more on live streaming. So hope you have a great day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll check you out for part 2. Y'all have a great day.